So guys, welcome back. Got a customer brought this thing in and said, you know, hey Fu, why is my spoke keep breaking? I'm like, well, did we build it? It's like, no, you guys didn't. I brought it to his shop because I was out and about. And I go, why is it breaking? They're using good spokes. And I try to squeeze. Oh my God, this thing is so, you see how this is really loose? These won't even move. So he goes, why? I go, well, spokes, you don't want to have it way too tight, but you don't want to have it so loose. You want to have it just tension right. Do I know the tension number? I don't. He asked me, he goes, should I just go with tight spokes? Should I go with double butted spokes? I'm like, wait, hold on. Like getting those, but you have it too tight, too loose, you're going to have the same problem. Hence why we're doing this today. I'm going to explain to you guys a little bit about spokes. There are a handful of spokes. Majority of the bike you see in here is 14 gauge spokes. This is pretty much the standard spoke size in BMX. Now, I don't know what mountain bike use because we don't do mountain bike. I don't know what road bike use. We do BMX, and it is 14 gauge. This is 14 gauge. Alf use 14 gauge. All these guys use 14 gauge. So, but there are a handful of other spokes. We got tie spokes, non-stainless steel spokes. Okay, this is just high tin. Oh, so let me go back to the 14 gauge I showed you at the beginning. This is stainless, titanium and high tensile steel. They're all 14 gauge. Then we got Big Bertha right here, 12 gauge spokes. And then we have, what I had to draw it out because I don't have any. These are double butted spokes. So basically the ends here, right here and right here, they're bigger. So they're 14 gauge. It reduces down to either 16 or 17 gauge to make the spoke lighter. Because this is where a lot of the tension is. In the middle, there isn't that much. So a lot of racers use this to save weight, but we don't carry it because nobody races here. Everybody just races, but not races. So with that being said, let's break it down. We all use 14 gauge. Some of you guys use titanium. So why does some of you guys use titanium and not everybody? First of all, stainless steel spokes, I think these are going for about 50 cents each. Roughly, guys, comment in. You guys are in different demographic. Hey, could we be a little bit more professional here? No. Can't get nothing done here. So titanium spokes are about, I would say half the weight, but it's more than double the price. I think a titanium spoke, it goes.
They're like $2.
They're like about $1.50 to $2. So they're like quadruple the amount versus for just half the weight. High tensile steel, you will get by with it. A lot of like beach cruisers, the lower end bikes, they'll come with high tensile steel, which is fine, you know, for the beginner and for all that. And quite honestly, I would say if I would have laced up high tensile steel on any of these guys' bike, it would hold up to a limit, and to a limit of time and a limit of performance. And it'll start stretching more, and it'll start flexing more, and then it'll rust. So the tensile strength and the rust and staining, not so good, but it'll go. And these things are cheap. These things are like 10 cents a piece. 12 gauge. You guys are like, God. Believe it or not, at one time in BMX, 12 gauge was a thing. So you guys remember back in the days when they used to have Alex triple walls and everybody making gigantic rims. Combine that with 48 hole 12 gauge. Because everybody was blowing up the wheel because everybody's doing like huge roof drops, just huge gap stuff. People weren't smooth back then. It was just like they're kind of pushing the limit. And as the generations start progressing, the riders start going, hey, you know what? I could do this trick, I could do that trick, and I could land a little bit smoother and do this and that. They learned, the generation after this started learning how to do those same tricks, but learning how to land better and smoother. So, and the technology of the rim got better, that's stronger. So you didn't need the 12 gauge no more. So they went back to using 14 gauge, but with better rim technology that held up. So that's where the 12 gauge went out. But 12 gauge is still being used on like a lot of e-bikes and beach cruisers. I don't know why they need it on beach cruiser. And the e-bikes, even though they use the 12 gauge, but they use it with cheap metal. Like, you're talking about cheaper than high tensile steel. So that's why they're always breaking. But this, no go, guys. So now we have these three. We got the high tensile steel, which it's fine. Titanium, this is what you guys all been waiting for. Why isn't everybody using it? One is expensive. And the other thing is, I'm just telling you guys from the years of experience I have. I'm not telling you guys actual facts out there. I'm telling you facts that happened inside here. So if you guys all know Mike Clark, Hucker, for a long time he used 14 gauge spokes. So one day he goes, you know, Fu, I want to try titanium. I go, He goes, just let me try. I want to see it. Well, the end result was he loved the weight ratio of the titanium, but he stopped using it because they keep breaking. He keeps snapping them at the bend right here. Why, guys? Because titanium, when you bend, this is stainless. When you bend the stainless, it bends like this, and you can actually bend it back. Titanium, I'm gonna see, look, you can see my face. I'm afraid it's gonna snap in my face. Titanium, when you bend like that, and you bend it back, it will snap, okay? Granted, you guys are probably laughing right now, going, I don't see that snapping. You know what? Usually when I go like that, it will go, and when you get to a hard kink, it will just snap. So that's where titanium, it is so strong that it won't bend. It will just snap. So most of the time, it'll snap right there. If you notice how this one right here, see how that J is not as bent? Because this one right here is used, and as you ride, the wheels pull, and this thing goes straighter and straighter and straighter. Eventually, after the wheel keep getting true a couple times, it's gonna snap right there. And there it goes. And not as often it'll snap right there because all the thread cuts into it. But for riding street, I would say no. For riding park, it's better, but it'll still snap. Versus this. The high tensile steel is just a cheaper version of stainless. It won't last as long. It won't stay clean like this. It will get tarnished up. It'll snap, but it will actually not snap as soon as titanium. So, hey Max, when Max was transitioning from an 18-inch to I got scared for a second there. Okay, grow up.
He likes Bud Light.
Grow up, guys. So when he went from an 18-inch and he went up to a 20-inch, I wanted to make sure that the 20-inch is light for him. So we went and we used titanium spokes on his bike. Tell your story.
Pretty much, we laced it up, rode it a few days, and literally I think it was the third day in. You know, when you guys go too fast, you do little back tire skirts on the flat ground. I did that and literally blew out 3 spokes, just a little, and I heard pop up, and 3 spokes blew out. And then from then on, once the 3 spokes blew out, the rest of the day, the whole entire wheel just started snapping. It does not flex as easily. It snaps. Some professional riders that are going for that lightweight bike, it makes sense for them. Me personally, a street rider dominantly, it did not work. So it's some people have it as a benefit. Some people, I don't think it'll work for them for the riding style.
Might also add, when we did that, you were like maybe 13?
Yeah, I maybe weighed 120 pounds, if that.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing that, I can imagine like a full-blown guy like Alf, what 160, 170?
So Alf, here. You rode park. When I first met you, rode park like you were a beast.
Yeah.
That's why, hence his name, Alfredo. I've never noticed you use titanium.
I've always been a Jew, so I didn't want to spend all that type of money. But yeah, also at that time it was harder to come by. And then, I don't know, a lot of BMX are just lazy in general. You don't want to take apart a good wheel to put on these spokes that you don't even know if they're really going to work and if they're going to be that much lighter. I will say that a couple of years ago, I did put on titanium spokes in the front. The rotational weight is a big difference, but is it worth spending 250 more bucks? I don't know.
But so it's just like Hucker said, he did feel the advantage, but the overall, but you were the man back then. Everybody's giving you free stuff. You could have got free titanium spokes.
There's not a lot of companies that just give them away. What, Snafu?
Yeah. So right now, somebody was to just hook you up with titanium spokes.
Yeah, I would run them if they're for free, and if they already came on the the built wheel, you know. But I don't think I would go out of my way to do it myself.
So it's just like Max said, like they break, and then so therefore you're gonna have to constantly.
Yeah.
And the upkeep, yeah.
Me personally, I wouldn't. Knowing that half your wheel could blow out almost instantly, just
Yeah.
like that, and then having to deal with, especially if you're on a trip, you blow out 5 spokes, you're almost ruined unless you have spares.
Bikes are pretty light as it is now anyway. It's
Exactly.
like you don't need them any more lighter,
Exactly.
really.
So Ethan, what's your take on titanium spokes versus stainless? You've never experienced titanium.
I have.
Oh, you
actually.
have.
I have. When I was a wee lad, I was on a fit.
Didn't you just
trip.
build a whole titanium wheel, like another, and it exploded the first day?
Oh no, that was carbon fiber rims.
Oh.
That's a whole nother no. So I was on a trip. I was like 19, doing like a shop stop where you go to different bike shops and have a little party. And my wheel was like destroyed. Sorry, sir. He's sensitive. My wheel was destroyed, so one of the shop owners out there was like, "I got you. I'm gonna relace your whole wheel." And he used titanium, and he's like, "This is gonna be way better, way lighter, way stronger." And same deal with Max. It made it about 2 days, I think. And first day started bing, 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 breaking spokes. And then once 1 or 2 goes, prepare for the next 16 that same day.
So
to
so
go.
where was it breaking? Do you remember?
I'm pretty sure it was snapping either right here at the bend or right underneath where the nipple is at.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. See, because you guys, some of you guys in there, I know I got a lot of engineers out there and that always leave good comment. Titanium, the way the structure is, when you make the thread, it's basically you're scoring a piece of glass. When you hit it, that's where it's gonna crack. So that's where all the scoring in the metal, where the thread is, that's where they'll snap. And it breaks it what I consider the J right here, because it's trying to straighten out. And when it gets to where that bend is, where there's the most stress, it'll snap because the tensile strength is not there. If I'm explaining it wrong, please, some of you guys out there, I read your guys, I'm sorry I don't know the name. You guys always leave good comments in. You know what, actually, let me check, because I hit up a guy that rides titanium spokes his whole life. Let me see what he said. I'll give him a little shout out. It's, Caden Stone, Dubby. For as long as I've known him, he rode titanium spokes. He will not ride any other spokes. So I hit him up and I go, hey, you know what? I've known you for like your whole life. What is your take on it? So if anything, if you guys are curious, drop him a DM and ask him like what's his take on titanium. Otherwise, we can't wait all day because we got to get this thing out, or else you guys can't wait and you guys are impatient, you guys are unsubscribed. Share this video, subscribe. Like I said, stop freeloading. I know some of you guys get on there, and this, thank you to all the people that suggested to do the spoke thing. I hope that helped you guys. And guys, give us your story, give us your take. It's not just for us, but it's the other viewers to read on it. I appreciate everything, you guys. Thank you, and I'm out.